Hi, this is Godsgirl G coming at you again with really just wanting to do this particular video for women, particularly the women that you feel like you've never been pretty, or no one's ever said that you were a gorgeous person or anything like that. I want to give you some encouragement. One thing that I do know is that some of the men that I talk to, because for some reason I get a lot of men asking me questions, dating questions, but some of the men that I talk to, one of the things that when you talk to them and if they're dating someone, I'm like, what really attracted you to that person? And most of the men will initially say, well, she looked really, really pretty, or she was really nice looking, she dressed well, things of that nature. But what ends up happening as the relationship progresses is that he begins to know the inward person, or what I call the essence of that person. He begins to really, really understand the DNA of how that person thinks, how they act, their true relationship with God. And that's actually what ends up keeping them. So I want to give the ladies out there that, again, if you've never been told that you're pretty enough or anything like that, I want to give you some encouragement to continue to not only work on your outward appearance, but also to work on your inward appearance, because really that's what makes for a lasting relationship, is what's on the inside. And for those of you who you just feel like you need a little bit of help in your appearance, you don't know what to do, I want to offer some advice. Definitely always fix yourself up. You don't want to go out the house not looking your best. Sometimes in my past I have done that because I've been working 2 jobs, just really, really tired. But you really have to keep yourself up if you are trying to attract Mr. Right. You need to fix your hair. There's so many things out there that help us ladies, hair services, online stores that will help you with your appearance. If you don't have any skills with how to apply makeup, go to a makeup counter in a department store or a mall area. They do usually makeovers for free, and ask them to teach you about some things. For the ladies that are 40 and over, I'm kind of in that category, not quite 40 yet, but I'm going to be there in about 2 years. So I just want to first of all encourage you that just because you reach 40, that's, to be honest with you, that's not old. In reality, we are supposed to be living to the age of 124. So 40 is still like being 20 or 30 years old. So you need to don't think like that. Life is not over. You still have a ton of years left ahead of you. So I want to encourage you to fix yourself up. You need to make sure you're eating the right foods. Nutrition plays a lot into our self-esteem. It plays a lot into how we feel. You need to exercise. You need to get that blood pumping, and also you need to every year you need to go through a colon cleanse and a parasite cleansing program. It's something that is not talked about enough, but we get transmitted to us parasites all the time, just through shaking people's hands, borrowing people's pens. You'd be amazed at the stuff, the foods that we eat. If you eat meat, I'm actually trying to transition to being a vegetarian, but if you eat meat, if you eat undercooked meat, then that can actually cause some problems. Those of you that eat sushi, there's a lot of parasites in fish. You really, really need to eat cooked food if that's what you're going to do. But ladies, just be encouraged out there. Don't think that it's too late. Don't think that you're not pretty enough, because everything that God made is beautiful. He does charge us, though, however, with taking care of our body. You can't just not do anything and expect for Mr. Right to come. That's just not going to happen. You have to, first of all, put yourself in a position to be found. Ladies, you should not be going out trying to meet men. You need to put yourself and position yourself so that you can make yourself available for a man to find you. If you are active, if you're not active in your church, you need to get active in your church. You need to be seen. Ladies, you can't come into church and sit in the back of the church and you can't understand how come nobody's approaching you. You need to get seen. Join the choir, join the usher board. That is a really good way to make yourself seen, not just to make yourself on display or anything, because you are in the house of the Lord and you're doing his job, but you have to make yourself seen. Don't sit in the back of the church and then just be upset because nobody's talking to you. You have to put yourself up front. Worship the Lord, and in the midst of your worship, who knows, Mr. Right that God has for you may turn his head, and there you are in the midst of worshiping God, and here he comes, and next thing you know, you guys are getting married, got 10,000 kids, and call yourself happily married, and you live happily happily ever after. You just never know what God has in store. But I want to encourage you to keep yourself busy. Don't ever sit around the house and mope. That's not what God has. You need to have a plan. And a man is not a plan. Don't wait for a man to get your house. Don't wait for a man to get your car that you're wanting for. You know what? We are strong, independent, intelligent women, and we can get the things that we need. We don't need to wait for a man to do that. When the man comes along, you don't want to be a burden. You want to be a blessing. It all goes back to the video that I did about the things to look for in a mate, and particularly for women, that you can manage your household. What are you doing with your money? If every paycheck you can actually go into your closet and account for the clothes that you bought and the shoes that you bought, you are not managing your money correctly. How are you balancing that? Are you paying your tithes? Are you giving offerings? Are you eating the right foods? Are you taking care of your apartment? If you're in an apartment, wonderful. If you're in a house, are you taking care of that? And if you are in an apartment, do you have any plans on getting a house? You don't have to wait to get married to get a house, ladies. I'm a testament to that. You do not have to wait. So I just want to give you some encouragement, and hopefully to spark some action on your part. You can still be single and enjoy life. If certain holidays are special to you, then you need to start a girls' night out. For example, Valentine's Day is the next big holiday that usually single people usually get really depressed around. Well, you know what? You need to call up some girlfriends and call it a girls' night out. Schedule some time, have everybody chip in, get a limo, go to a fine restaurant, treat yourself right, laugh, gigi, gaga at everything and the jokes, everything that goes across the table, and have yourself a good time and come back home feeling satisfied that you actually went out. Yes, it was Valentine's Day, and yes, you may have been with your girlfriends, but you had a blast. So don't sit around moping. Plan it out if you know you're going to be upset if you're home by yourself, whether it's on your birthday or Valentine's Day. So again, these are just a couple of tips for the single ladies out there. And if you have any questions at all, please contact me. I would rather you contact me with what you feel is a crazy question than to go out with Mr. Right, or excuse me, Mr. Wrong, and be crushed. Please don't do that, because my girlfriends, they will call me and ask me questions. I'll be like, you need to run, and this is why, and I'll give all the signs. So please don't feel free to email me. Definitely subscribe, definitely rate the video. But again, you can hit me up at godsgirlg@gmail.com. You take care and have a great evening.